Namaskar. Welcome to RaDIANTalks, a SRR India podcast. It is the voice of radiation research from India and beyond. My name is Prof. I am working as a researcher in Stockholm University and associated with Society for Radiation Research since 2015. And in this special inaugural episode, we are deeply honored to feature Professor K.P. Mishra, a pioneering figure in radiation science, and he is the founder president of Society for Radiation Research. Professor Mishra dedicated over 4 decades in Bhabha Atomic Research Center, where he retired as a professor and head of Radiation Biology and Health Science Division. His groundbreaking research has significantly advanced our understanding of ionizing radiation, particularly the role of reactive oxygen species in cellular responses. A globally respected radiation biologist, Professor Mishra has authored over 300 scientific publications, mentored more than 50 PhD scholars, and built strong international collaboration across US, UK, Germany, Japan, China, and many more. His visionary leadership united India's radiation research community through the founding of Society for Radiation Research, and he continues to guide its growth as editor-in-chief of the Journal of Radiation and Cancer Research. His distinguished career has earned him numerous awards, including Homi Bhabha Memorial Award, Bhabha Medal, SRR India's Lifetime Achievement Award, and leadership as president of Asian Association of Radiation Research during 2017 to 2022. With that, let's start an enriching conversation with Professor Mishra, exploring his journey, insight, and the legacy he continued to build in the world of radiation research. So, Professor Mishra, it is a true pleasure to have you with us in this inaugural episode of Radiant Talk. It is an SRR India podcast, the voice of radiation research from India and beyond. So, on behalf of SRR team, I welcome you, Professor Mishra. So, to begin with, let's look back to a defining moment in radiation in India's scientific landscape. The formation of Society for Radiation Research was not just an initiative. I think it was a vision to unify minds working across diverse facets of radiation science. So, Professor Mishra, what was the motivation and thought process behind establishing the Society of Radiation Research in India?
Yeah, I'm glad to remember the journey of radiation research in my career. I also feel excited to talk to you about radiation science and radiation society that we established. The inspiration for formation of Society of Radiation Research originated at the time of 100-year celebration of X-rays that was celebrated in grand manner at Bhabha Atomic Research Center. Many scientists from India and abroad were invited. I was one of the member of the organizing committee. I was amazed to see the tremendous progress that was made in the field of radiation research and applications. I got motivated. I must say I was thrilled and enthused that this is the way research should proceed. And I imagine that in the next 100 years, there will be many more such excited discoveries and applications in science. So therefore, with a view to unite and to promote radiation scientists in India, I thought of establishing a society. However, this got delayed due to my relocation as Vice Chancellor to Allahabad University, to Nehru Gram Bharati University in Allahabad. But the idea lived, and I continued with the dream that we will form the society. The main objective of the society has been to promote radiation research and develop technology associated with it, and to unite radiation scientists in India and also establish collaborations with international scientists. in international scientific community and organizations. I was also looking for that this society should play a role in inviting young people to the forum and
Mhm.
experienced researchers to share new updates in radiation science and technology, and also to prepare a team of radiation researchers who could be effective communicator in case
Mhm.
of need to professionals as well as to public. And many of these objectives are being achieved. And today I'm happy to see that the goals for which the society was formed is being met. And today's society is maturing and it is widely spread in all corners of India. And we have established collaborations and associations with the scientific bodies of the world and Asia.
Yeah, that's truly inspiring. And it tells me how a visionary idea could shape into thriving platform and that connects and empowers radiation research community across the nation and beyond. With that, I think scientific society often serves more than academic cause, and they become catalyst for collaboration, innovation, and sometimes even policy influence. And I think SRR India is of no exception. So we would like to know, how do you see professional society like Society for Radiation Research contribute to the advancement of research and playing a role also in the policy development?
This question was very much in our mind when we formed the society. And therefore, right at the time of formation of the society, we also conceived the idea of communication with the professionals, government bodies, policymakers, regulators, and therefore we began publishing a journal called Journal of Radiation Research and Cancer. And
Mhm.
that is being published since the formation of society in 2014 uninterrupted. And
Mhm.
today it is matured into a very credible scientific communication journal. So this
Mhm.
objective is being achieved, reaching the public, reaching to professional, and also reaching to the policymakers through our journal. In
Mhm.
addition, we have been always careful to invite the policymakers and regulators in our scientific meetings, which we
Mhm.
organize from time to time. And we keep
Mhm.
our recommendations posted to the government bodies for the
Mhm.
information of update in radiation research. So this
Mhm.
way, Society of Radiation Research has now become an influencer
Mhm.
of the policymakers and also regulators. And very often we are consulted by the
Mhm.
regulators on
Mhm.
certain issues which come up
Mhm.
in the
Mhm.
in the realm of the regulation.
Mhm. Yeah, that really highlights the powerful connection between research and impact, how a society cannot only drive science forward, but it also helps shape the ecosystem around it. With that, Professor Mishra, with nearly 5 decades of contribution to the field, you have witnessed several generations of scientists, changes in priorities, and also evolution in approaches. The landscape have transformed in many ways, I think. So, in your views, how has the temperament or attitude of radiation researchers changed over the years, both in India and in global perspective?
Yeah. So this is a very nice question. And I recall that in the early 60s, it was not uh, very fast way of communication available to scientists. So we used to consult things from library, publications, and also it used to be a delayed information system. But the change has occurred in a tremendous way. There is a fast communication now.
Mhm.
Anything that you conduct research and find some the tangible result,
Mhm.
immediately it is communicated and we are in access with the world
Mhm.
scientific community. So this change that I have seen has become very hopeful that
Mhm.
the research advancements are taking place and the communications and the sharing of the result has become easier over time.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
in my opinion, the possibility of working and standing as scientists has increased tremendously, and there is a remarkable transformation in the attitude and temperament of scientists to share information. And of course, I must say that the non-classified information, because
Mhm.
nuclear science has got another connotation of the
Mhm.
research, which is originating in the individual countries. But scientists in radiation biology and in cancer science, they have been very open in communication and in
Mhm.
discussions. So I find
Mhm.
that there is a very nice uh, progress taking place worldwide in terms of communication, in terms of collaborations, in terms of sharing knowledge, and also sharing the technological developments. New
Mhm.
ideas, of course, in all the international conferences, we have been exploring to find
Mhm.
what are the new ideas now in radiobiology, what is the
Mhm.
update in radiation research. So, this
Mhm.
way, science is progressing in hopefully in a very good manner. And
Mhm.
I have got lots of hope of the progress there to go on.
Mhm. Yeah, nice remarks, Professor Mishra. It is encouraging to hear how adaptability and passion continue to shape the field, even as the new challenges and knowledges emerge in the science. So, looking ahead is just as important as reflecting back. And as science rapidly evolves, the direction of radiation research hold great promise, especially with the integration of interdisciplinary tools and global challenges. So we would like to know what is your perspective on the direction that radiation research is heading in the coming decade?
Yeah, um, I have many ideas that research is taking place in right direction, and I
Okay.
feel the new developments are fast taking. Many
Mhm.
new phenomenon are being discovered in radiobiological research. Many
Mhm.
new applications of radiations are taking place. Uh,
Mhm.
the overall in the world, almost billions of procedures are being performed annually. So there
Mhm.
is an increasing use of radiation and radiation related technologies all over the
Mhm.
world. And it is therefore that I feel that the
Mhm.
research in radiobiology should be strengthened and accelerated, and more collaboration should be encouraged and should be practiced. I feel that the many new applications that are emerging, the applications of radiation, especially in imaging process, in
Mhm.
diagnosis, in therapy of the diseases, especially cancer radiotherapy, they
Mhm.
are taking place in a very big manner. And there
Mhm.
is a lot more that needs to be done to make the therapy and diagnosis more effective. It is therefore that the research in radiobiological areas are needed more intensively. They are needed to be
Mhm.
more funded, and manpower generation in radiobiological field needs to be tackled in a more tactical way. And I personally feel that there is a lot of promise from radiation biological research for the health care and health applications and protection for of the health in the field. So I think in
Mhm.
future we will be devoting research more to develop more technologies, to develop
Mhm.
more therapeutics, also
Mhm.
to develop the more techniques to
Mhm.
protect humans, to protect professionals, and to prevent damage to environment. So
Mhm.
I personally I am very optimistic that in future radiobiology field will be in demand, and it will play very crucial roles in service of humanity.
Mhm. Yeah, that is a very powerful vision, one that underscores both the opportunity and responsibilities that lie ahead for us, for current and also for the future researchers. With that, and now for a moment that many of our younger listeners, including me, uh, have been waiting for. Every generation of scientists benefit from wisdom and encouragement of those who have walked the path before them. So, what message would you like to share with the young and aspiring researcher in the field?
Yeah, yeah, I like to talk on this point a little more, and I feel emotional because I like to talk to young people and I like to
Mhm,
motivate them to come to the research field. And there are many talented young
mhm,
people now, but they go in wrong direction sometimes. And they
mhm,
don't realize the importance of research that they should take up in their career.
mhm,
So I have some important messages to talk to young people for future. One,
mhm,
the researcher must be able to identify and associate with the program which is futuristic in nature. For example, to develop technology or to advance knowledge or to develop new ideas in radiobiology are very fascinating to me today. And I
mhm,
think those who will enter radiobiological research and cancer research in future, they will have plenty of new opportunities to discover new phenomena, new
mhm,
knowledge. So from this point of view, I would encourage talented people to enter the research area of radiobiology and cancer research. I would
mhm,
especially like to suggest that the student should ask original questions,
mhm,
not the follow up, not the copying question, not the routine
mhm,
question, but original
mhm,
question, why this thing is happening? Why is this observation? And what
mhm,
may be the secret of nature in particular
mhm,
phenomenon? So this
mhm,
kind of research, if students take, there is a plenty of new opportunities, and I think they have future in career. And I am also sure that they will discover new knowledge and technology in time to come, which will be useful for society, and it will be the the the, the fuel for them in their career
mhm,
to go on and to support younger people. So I
mhm,
see that the senior researchers should properly mentor with devotion and with love to younger people and
mhm,
entice them to come to the field to make contribution, to make discoveries, and to make inventions. So
mhm,
I'm very sure that the research areas which are emerging now, for
mhm,
example, the uh, cancer cell and
mhm,
uh, the cancer stem cells,
mhm,
which are self-regulating, self-generating, and
mhm,
which are the problem in the
mhm,
treatment of cancer. So
mhm,
there are questions. The radiobiology of stem cancer cell is becoming very important, and the
mhm,
observation that certain cells which are not in the field of radiation exposure, they get
mhm,
message from those cells which are exposed to radiation. This
mhm,
phenomenon is very exciting, and has got lots of potential to answer
mhm,
many questions,
mhm,
especially if we look at how radiation affects human health, human
mhm,
body, and
mhm,
also how it affects the human working,
mhm,
especially the brain functions.
mhm,
It is going to be very important in future. I
mhm,
personally feel that the area of radiobiology
mhm,
applied to health and
mhm,
improvement of therapy,
mhm,
diagnosis of diseases, and
mhm,
development of technologies like X-rays, PET, SPEC, many of those technologies in nuclear medicine are
mhm,
going to play a big role. And
mhm,
radiology has become important part of many of these fields. So the imaging technology is going to grow. It's going to be one of the exciting field of research, and it's happening tremendously. So I hope that in future, students will take up the important challenges that are faced. There are many questions which we don't understand today, because right from the areas of the time that DNA is the central target for damage by ionizing radiation, focus is changing now to even the damage to cytosol, damage to membrane is triggering the process of death cell. So these the excitements are very new, and I think there is a lot more to be discovered. I must also mention that the increasing interest of the humans in the space exploration is going to be very exciting area of space radiobiology, because those are high LET radiations, and the astronauts are in space for longer time. So the health effects of those radiations are going to be very interesting in time to come. And I also must say that there are areas in space research, in the area of diagnosis and therapy, combined with artificial intelligence, is going to be one of the new excitement in the field. The potential of radiation research is going to be promising because of also the development of new model systems to study, because of the tools available for gene editing, because of the gene response to ionizing radiation, our understanding, our ability to analyze radiation genome damage. These are some of the very exciting areas that are coming up. And I think young researchers will find new opportunities of career development, and also discovering new knowledge, and also perhaps develop the technology for the welfare and the goodness of society in future.
Yeah, it is such a thoughtful guidance. Thank you for those words, Professor Mishra. I'm sure they will resonate deeply and inspire many to pursue their scientific journey with renewed purpose and hope. And with this, on behalf of Society for Radiation Research India, we sincerely thank you, Professor Mishra, for sharing your valuable time, insight, and wisdom with us today. We look forward to get your some time in our future podcast or some other kind of interviews in future. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, you are most welcome. I quite enjoyed talking to you. The questions that you have raised seem to me very relevant and also important for future, and they look inspirational. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.